Chill.
Hello Marvel Legends, I'm back again, this time with another list video. We've done a whole bunch of reviews recently, so let's do a good old 10 to 1 countdown. And this time, as is tradition with this channel, we're getting extra stupid. So take off your pants, crack a beer, and get ready for the world's dumbest countdown as we cover the top 10 creepiest Marvel Legends couples. Coming in at number 10, we have Eddie Brock and the Symbiote. Okay, you see already we're going a little bit off the beaten path here, because also, you know, I only have so many Marvel Legends, and I only want to count ones that I actually have the figures for. And this is one that probably didn't instantly spring to mind, but think about it. If this is not a relationship built on a toxic foundation, I don't know what is. First of all, the alien symbiote, the Clintar. Is that how you pronounce it? Clintar? I'm pretty sure. I should know because I freaking love Venom, and the current Venom run, oh my god, it's amazing. So, the Clintar is basically Peter Parker's jilted ex, and that's what made the Venom character so cool, is that it's the psycho ex-girlfriend. The symbiote is Alanis Morissette. It's there, you know, when Venom first, you know, confronts Peter, you could virtually hear her singing, I want you to know that I'm happy for you. I love that song. And that's what the symbiote is. It's just with Eddie Brock to get back at Peter Parker. And that's kind of cool. And Eddie Brock is sort of this hopeless, pathetic, down on his luck person who the symbiote was totally taking advantage of. You know, the symbiote is like this pretty girl who got jilted, and she's like, right, I'm going to find the first schmuck I can do to make my ex jealous. And that was poor old Eddie Brock. Talk about a toxic relationship. So this is definitely a high-ranking contender. I was going to go for like an honorable mention. I was going to pair up Felicia Hardy, the Black Cat, with Agent Venom, because Felicia Hardy dated Flash Thompson after Peter, you know, sort of turned her down, again, in exactly the same way that the symbiote paired up with Eddie. It was like, I've been jilted by Peter Parker, now's my chance to get even. So coming in at a solid number 10, we have Venom, Eddie Brock, and the Clintar. Number 9. Coming in at number 9, we have the forever tumultuous relationship of Janet Van Dyne and Hank Pym. Now, this is one, like, it doesn't need much of an introduction or explanation. This, of course, harkens back to the, you know, sort of legendary, unforgettable comic story where Hank hit the Wasp. And sort of the problem with this in particular is, like, because it's never been forgotten, because it's so iconic, it's been reused and reiterated and reworked so many times in different versions, different stories. Like, no matter what the universe is that these characters exist in, Hank Pym is going to have this you know, issue, this problem, except for the MCU, actually. And quite nicely, they haven't touched on this. But in the Ultimate Universe, they always sort of refer back to this archetype with Hank Pym losing his marbles, getting crazy, and having, you know, this violent interaction with the Wasp. And of course, the Wasp always never being able to separate herself from him. It always comes back around to them. She will be with other people, have other relationships, and it will always end up rotating back around to Hank Pym. And now in the comics, Hank Pym is like fused with Ultron, and from the last time I read, you know, he claims that he is in control of Ultron, but is it Ultron who's assimilated him? It's a whole thing, but at the same time, poor old Janet Van Dyne is still caught up with this guy, and maybe it's not creepy, but it's definitely not healthy. Number 8. Have you ever heard of a succubus? A succubus is apparently a creature of ancient myth and legend that sucks the life out of a man. Welcome, Shikla. I've got this new ring light, which I think sort of illuminates me really nicely, but when you bring a character towards the camera, they just become like they've been hit by a nuclear explosion. So I've got to work out the best way of using this. But anyway, we have Shikla, the queen of the damned, or the monsters, and we have Wade Wilson, the merc with the mouth. And these two did not have a healthy relationship. So Shikla was sort of born to be the queen of the monsters, and she was supposed to marry Dracula, but it was a whole thing, and then she ends up hooking up with Wade Wilson because, why not? Live your life, girl. Choose who you want to choose. Unfortunately, their marriage was not meant to be a happy one. She eventually cheats on Wade with Dracula, as crazy as that sounds. That's why I love comics. They get kind of bonkers sometimes. And the whole reason she was with Wade, some people say this woman's she's just sucking the life out of this guy. Literally. That's what she does. She's like a vampire kind of creature, and she would suck the life out of people. But Wade, because of his healing factor, she would suck the life out of him and he would sort of instantly regenerate. So they kind of went around in this kind of circle of her just sucking the life out of this guy. And I don't care how good your healing factor is. It's not a healthy relationship if one half is sucking the life out of the other. Number 7, we have the Hobgoblin, Jason Macendale, and the Goblin. How is this for a creepy, unhealthy relationship right here? So, like so many people, basically, the Hobgoblin ended up hooking up with the Goblin because he wanted to elevate his status. You see, that was his problem. He was feeling a little insecure about his place in the world, and he wanted to find a partner who was going to make him feel like he deserved a place in the higher rankings of society. In this case, supervillain society. So that was a whole problem. It was a relationship based on insecurity. And what happens when that happens? The more dominant partner completely takes over the weaker one. I'm going full Dr. Phil here. You'd never know I had a psychology degree. Almost. I haven't got it yet, but we're getting there. Anyway, that's what happened. During the whole Inferno storyline, Jason Macendale, the Hobgoblin, felt like he needed more power, so he went to the demons and he was like, it's your boy here, hook me up, these are my credentials, these are my turn-ons, turn-offs, who have you got for me? And they hooked him up with the Goblin. Although I wonder what the demon looked like before it inhabited him, because obviously this is what he looks like because he's taken on traits from the Hobgoblin. But either way, this guy got more than he bargained for, and he got taken for a ride, fully possessed by the Goblin. And it wasn't until they were violently separated, as toxic couples have to be, that they could each go their separate ways and form their own destinies. Number 6, we have Typhoid Mary here, absolutely caca for cuckoo puffs crazy, and the Kingpin, Wilson Fisk. Yeah, this was doomed to failure. So first of all, you have Typhoid Mary. The actual name of her human, more civilian side, I do not recall. I just remember Typhoid Mary. But basically, she had, in her civilian identity, had a relationship with Daredevil, Matt Murdock. And that wasn't too creepy. That wasn't too bad. Because Matt Murdock didn't know that she had this multiple personality disorder. Whereas the Kingpin, who was hiring her to be one of his hired goons, he knew exactly what her mental state was. And he was also thinking, as so many guys do, yeah, she's crazy, but she's hot. So that resulted in the Kingpin of crime, Wilson Fisk, hooking up with Typhoid Mary. And you know what? This is problematic on so many levels. First of all, there's nothing wrong with dating someone who has, mental difficulties. The problem is not caring. He's like, yeah, she's not of sound mind, but you know what? She's hot. Have you seen those torn up fishnets? She's good to go. No, Wilson, no, she's not. That's not what a responsible, decent human being should do. But Wilson, he's not doing too well himself because, of course, we all know who his true love is. It's Vanessa, and he's dealing with the fallout of the end of that relationship. So these are two very unhealthy people who should not be paired up together. But at the same time, sometimes these things just happen. Number 5. All right, we're in the top 5 now. So this is where it gets real creepy. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Peter Parker, the Amazing Spider-Man, and Cindy Moon, aka Silk. And what's the deal with these two? This isn't too creepy, is it? Is it? Okay, This is where we might get a little bit meta here, perhaps. So the whole idea with these two characters is that Cindy Moon was bitten by the same spider that bit Peter Parker. It bit him, and then it bit her. We didn't know that. You see, a little bit of retconning. Now, because of that, because of this DNA biological connection that they share, they just want to bang all the time. Just they have this spider sense urge. Whenever they are together, they want to bump uglies, do the hunka chunka, the sideways lombada. They just got to get it on whenever they're together. Now on the surface that sounds kind of cool, but then I think I overthink things a little bit, because I'm just thinking this is just wish fulfillment on the part of the writer, isn't it? This is. I mean, I don't know. Is it Dan Slott? Who created Cindy Moon? Someone help me out. But either way, I can just imagine a writer going, imagine a hot Asian lady who has no choice but to desperately want to have sex with me. Sorry, that's just that was just my logic. Maybe it's because I'm a terrible writer, and anytime I try to write fiction, I just imprint myself onto the characters, because that's all I could think. It's just like, no, it doesn't matter if she finds me attractive or not. She's compelled to do it. And I don't know, maybe I just put too much of a creepy slant on that myself. But to me, that's creepy. Number 4, we have Dr. Victor Von Doom and Sue Storm. Not Sue Richards, because from the best of my understanding, they've never been together when in our 616 reality where she's married to Reed Richards. But in other realities, especially that Dr. Doom is aware, is like a different reality, he'll ship himself with her instantly. And that's hella creepy. So, as particularly, this harkens me back to Secret Wars, the 2015 Secret Wars story. Victor Von Doom essentially becomes God. He rules over the one existing universe with the power of a god. So what does he do? He uses it to pair himself up with Sue Storm, knowing fully well about her previous life with Reed Richards and who her actual love is and who her husband is. And he's like, nah, bruh, I got the power of a god, so this is happening. And dude, no, bruh. No, that's hella creepy. That's, you know that she's not that into you, man. She's not that into you. And you got the power of a god? And she's still not that into you? Come on, man. Look, that's creepy. Okay? Victor Von Doom, y'all ought to know better, alright? Sue Storm is not that into you, and you're just manipulating this situation, manipulating her by the very notion that you had the powers of a god and you could technically control people. That starts to get real uncomfortable. So Victor Von Doom, you know what? You'll need to step away and give Sue Storm her space and her autonomy, more particularly, because this ain't healthy. Number 3. Coming in at number 3, we have 3 for 3. We have, first of all, Cyclops. All right, okay, so Cyclops instantly opens up the doors for, who could it be? Because this dude's had a few unhealthy relationships. Cyclops and Jean Grey. But then, of course, who could the third person be? It's gotta be the third member of the Love Triangle 3-pack. A love triangle that's so sort of well-known and accepted that we had a whole 3-pack named after it. Actually, is that the official name for the 3-pack? Or did we collectors just call it the Love Triangle 3-pack? Does it say on the box Love Triangle? Maybe it does. Anyway, I digress. The point is, this thing is not healthy because one person is clearly not into it. See, I think there's nothing wrong. There ain't nothing wrong with polyamorous relationships. If you're into it, that's cool and you can make it work. But if one party is not into it, then it's not gonna work. Trust me. So this is not a good situation here. First of all, these two are happy. I love Wolverine. We all love Wolverine. Everyone loves Wolverine. But Wolverine's a dick. He sees these guys are happy together and he's like, nah, bruh. I want me some of that redhead. This is going to happen. And you can tell poor old Scott Summers, eventually, he pretty much gets kind of, am I allowed to use the phrase cuckolded? Because that's pretty much it. So it's a very Shakespearean word, actually. Isn't it? They use it in ye olden days. But that's essentially it. All right, hear me out here. In the new X-Men stories in the comics, they have all this like superfluous stuff in the comics, like writing text and schematics and stuff, and they have a map, a layout, a floor plan of the X-Men's home on Krakoa. And you see that Jean Grey's, I mean, more power to you, girl. If you're digging it, then fair play. But Jean Grey's bedroom has 2 adjoining rooms, Scott Summers' room and Logan's room. And they can basically just kind of come and go as they please, you know? And I'm sure they must have really awkward conversations where, you know, Wolverine will be like, oh, hey, Jean, you're coming to bed? And Scott will be like, I believe it's my night with her tonight. It's like, ugh. And it's just, you know, that's fine if everyone's game for it. But you know Scott Summers is not game for it. And that just makes me sad. Number two, and it pains me to do this, Norman Osborn and Gwen Stacy. Yep, I covered this just recently and I'm covering it again. I was tempted to do Gwen Stacy and the Jackal because there was a Jackal out there, Warren, Professor Warren, Miles Warren, that's his name, who had a Gwen clone that he was having like a full relationship with. But even that wasn't as creepy as Norman Osborn having sex. I pronounced that funny because I had gas. Having sex with Gwen Stacy, the 40 plus year old, having sex with, what was she, 16, 17 at the time? Not cool at all. I mean, I know it's written to be not cool. It's not supposed to be cool, but also it's not supposed to have been done at all. Just because something's so edgy. Oh, we got to be edgy, so edgelordish. I can't stand that. Cheap ass writers trying to be edgy for the sake of being edgy. I know that initially the story was supposed to be, because it was all about bringing in Gwen Stacy's kids, and they wanted to. I'm trying to stand these folks. They're not standing. Screw it. But they wanted to bring in Gwen Stacy's kids, and originally the whole story was built around them being Peter's kids. And then they were like, oh no, wait, we can't make them Peter's kids. Oh, well, shall we just not do the story then? No, do the story. Just make them Norman Osborn's kids. The hell? Seriously? You want to talk about a creepy relationship? That's not cool at all. Like, I don't even need to tell you this. Someone hurry up and retcon this story, please. Number one. And finally, the number one creepiest relationship. Do I need to say more? Okay, I will say more, because I will also say in defense, not in the 616. All right, thank God. But I'm kind of cheating because I'm going to the damn ultimates, the ultimate universe, the worst edgelord nonsense. I've used that phrase already, but it so applies. Mark Miller's, or is it Miller or Millar? Either way, that guy, he's not a terrible writer. He has some good stuff, but also he has so much stuff that is just edgy for the sake of being edgy. And his Ultimates run was just pure edgelord. It was like, oh, what can I do to be all spicy? And, you know, real lowest common denominator garbage. One of which, amidst all the you know, racism, xenophobia, homophobia. Oh, the homophobia was just awful. But also, let's have these two siblings hook up and be in a sexy, incesty relationship. All right, bruh, whatever floats your boat. I wonder why the Ultimate Universe ultimately was cancelled because of garbage like this. Just trying to be controversial and icky and gross for the sake of it. So even though in the 616, it's all fine for these two characters, for the two Magneto twins, it's super creepy, it's super awkward, and it's our number one awkward relationship in our Marvel Legends. Folks, I hope you enjoyed this little trip through the weird and wacky and ultimately extremely creepy world of the bizarre toxic relationships that exist in this Marvel Legends universe and all the contingent and offshoot universes from, Secret Wars to the Ultimates and all points in between. Thankfully, our characters are only as bad as the people writing them at the time, and for every terrible writing relationship that's brought up. We'll get some good ones in between, and even some of the terrible ones are actually like very, very cool. I mean, Venom and the Symbiote, that's a love story that started toxic and is now a beautiful thing. And then you got guys like the Hobgoblin and the Goblin who, you know, had a bad relationship, broke off, and they're now thriving individually. So there's a lot of good to be said there as well. Anyway, folks, if you liked what you see here and you want to see more, then join the 6-1 Clicks by clicking the like, share, and subscribe buttons. And as I love to do with all of these episodes, I'm putting together a fantastic collage and compilation of some of the amazing work that I've found on Instagram over the last few days. Cosplay, artwork, photography, it's all there. So guys, enjoy that. And until next time, choose your partners wisely and keep displaying model behavior.